Talkin' Sex Live is recorded in front of a live audience. This show is for mature listeners only. Hello, you're Talkin' Sex Live with Chet and Diane.
I am Chet.
And I am Diane. We're unlicensed sex therapists. We're just a couple who...
Exactly.
What the heck? That was weird. There's some weird back talking there. Sorry about that. We're unlicensed sex therapists. We are talking sex live right now. We haven't had any type of formal training in therapy, but we're just a couple who's had a lot of sex. Want to share our knowledge with the world. We're streaming live on Twitch right now. We're 100% live, so what you heard, that weird feedback, I have no idea what that was.
Sound like another voice.
Yeah,
almost.
it was like almost like the last episode that we did where someone was hacking our stream and came in and started trying to kill us. But
tonight we are joined by our sex toy expert and polyamorous friend, Peter.
How you doing tonight, Peter?
Hello, I'm doing well. I'm happy to see that the two of you are safe and healthy.
Yeah, we thought you were dead.
Yes, I wanted to apologize for that. That was pure sort of coincidence, actually. We had quite a party that night. I really tied one on, and I passed out in my chair before the show even. And one of my partners decided to get goofy with me and you know, shoved one of my best toys down my throat.
Yeah, let's take a look at this here. So that is.
I haven't actually. Oh yes.
Wow. I mean, there's blood coming out. You said you're next, Chet and Diane. We were really scared. I mean, the whole moment we were just like we were being like we didn't want to.
I think they saw an opportunity. I don't give names of my partners on the show because they don't consent to being talked about directly. But you know, I think they just saw an opportunity to goof around. They knew that I was supposed to be on the show and that the feed was the camera was up and ready. And I passed out and it's like I think they just decided to screw with me. And also I'm deeply embarrassed by their spelling. On the sign,
like we were talking to the person that Wells actually hired, the fear play expert who came in to try to kill us, and we were like, wait a second, you spelled "your" wrong. It was the possessive part instead of the contraction, and he was trying to explain that, but
okay, got it. No, I assume, okay, I know, and now I suspect I know who Wells hired as well, because I definitely. One of my partners is a whole amazing, all sorts of kits for these types of events and everything. So, again, apologies. I didn't directly hook Wells up with this thing, but friend of a friend scenario, friend of an intimate partner scenario here. Right. So
got it.
Again, I'm glad everything went well. It sounds like you guys had a blast.
I mean, it was a little scary.
Apologies.
We ended the show right when it looked like we were going to get hurt, but it really... The guy who was hired by Wells, the fear play expert, he pulled out his penis, and that's why we screamed. But then he put it away. I screamed, of course. Diane was just like, "What the fuck?" because it was small, and so we after we ended the feed, he actually just was like, "I'm just joking, guys," and he left. And then Diane and I had some really hot sex. It was smoking, and we were both our motors were going at that point. You know, nothing like a shot of adrenaline to get you in the mood there.
Well, they say that it's not a real prank unless someone's terrified for their life.
Yeah, it wasn't really a prank. It was more of a something that Wells provided to us that really got us going, and we thank him a lot. And speaking of Wells, how are you doing tonight, Wells?
Yeah, I got your dick super hard.
Yeah,
and
that's a huge gift.
I made you shoot it super far.
Yep, that is true. That is true.
You're welcome.
And how is your dating life going? You were saying that you met a lady friend. Is that correct? Or
yeah, I've been seeing somebody.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
great.
And I performed cunnilingus.
Oh, wow.
And, for the first time.
Cunnilingus. You were very good at it. You were quite smart in your lingus.
Yes. I'm not sure what I said.
Yeah, it's all right. But I'm glad. Yeah, like it seems like your time on this show you've learned some stuff, and it's helping you out. I hope.
No, I didn't do anything that you taught me. But,
darn it! You still did the alphabet, huh? Some A, B, C.
No, I didn't do the alphabet.
No, okay.
But she very much enjoyed it. And,
okay, good.
She was quote unquote satisfied.
All right. So she's coming back.
Quote unquote.
Wow.
All right. That really instills confidence.
Yeah. Well,
I was making a euphemism to a physical reaction.
Got it.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. So she orgasmed, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Got it. Speaking of orgasming, we are going to review a show that is somewhat popular. I don't know if it's actually popular, but it's kind of it's a buzz right now on Netflix called Sex, Love, and Goop. And we watched all 6 episodes. I don't know about Peter and Wells, maybe, but we're going to go ahead and give our views on it, since people might want to know what we think about this, since we're not really sex experts and the people on that show are sex experts, but we want to go ahead and provide our thoughts on this whole thing. In case you haven't watched the show, we won't spoil anything. There's really nothing to spoil. It's just,
no cliffhangers or anything?
No, nothing. It's not like Squid Game where you tell the end of the show and ruin it for everybody. So there's I think 5 couples, and each one has its own kind of thing that they're dealing with sexually, some type of problem that they're dealing with sexually or relationship-wise. And Gwyneth Paltrow paired them up with different types of sex experts. There is like a somatic sexologist. There's a sacred sex and intimacy coach. There's an erotic wholeness coach, and like a family consultation facilitator that helps out these people. And
those are a lot of words.
There is. I didn't know any of this stuff. Actually, somatic
Yeah.
sexologist. Apparently, that only in California can this. It's, I guess, the erotic wholeness coach. You can actually penetrate somebody or perform sexual acts, and it's perfectly legal. But in the rest of the nation, you can't do that. So I don't know if people knew this about Diane and myself, but we're also sex coaches, but we don't actually touch anybody. I don't know if you know about California, but it is a very sue-heavy state. We just don't want any kind of legal issues to come about from that, even though it is actually legal here. But they actually show this erotic wholeness coach. Actually, she
is fingering a girl.
Yeah,
has a glove on though, very professional.
But it is something that I would feel would benefit some people, or a lot of people, if they don't know how their partner to please themselves, if they haven't experienced any of this and they're too nervous, and then so just to have somebody actually show how to use your fingers or different toys to please them.
Well, that other couple too, he didn't seem to know what a vagina.
No,
how to work a vagina.
So there was like your main, like your male female couple, where the guy doesn't really understand how to please a woman, and then you had a lesbian couple where one of the women didn't really know that she was a lesbian until later in life. You had an older couple, cisgendered. Just typical male female. Then you had a queer couple with a non-binary and a woman, and then you had a couple that had like 2 kids and they were struggling with stuff, and so they paired up with all these different coaches, and then it was basically watching them go through these sessions with these coaches, and sometimes you were just watching them in like therapy sessions. It was just kind of boring for the most part. There was a couple like interesting facts, some stuff that we kind of agreed with, but wasn't exactly our cup of, I don't know, it's not our cup of tea. There's this thing that Jaya provided, where she calls it the erotic
sexual blueprint.
Sexual blueprint. Have you heard of this, Peter? The sexual blueprint?
To a degree, yes. I mean, I watched the first episode of the show. I didn't have time to watch more, unfortunately. It's tricky because those types of things sound a lot like the Myers-Briggs test or similar personality tests, which are definitely scientifically nonsense.
Yes, exactly.
And I can't speak for this specific test that she's doing and what she's doing with it. So I'm not passing judgment on it. I'm just saying it sounds similar to these personality tests that are definitely scientific nonsense. But I can still see how it can help people recognize personality traits. I mean, it's a lot like astrology and other things where it may be utterly meaningless externally, but if a person sees meaning in it and it allows them to better recognize things that they couldn't put into words and allows them to connect with people. And really all these tests do is reflect back at you the things you wrote down on a sheet.
Yeah.
But they boil it down to a simple set of here's, you're a more energetic, which isn't the same thing as being excited. It's a different thing. Or you're more physical, you're more sexual, excited. There's different categories. And if that helps you go, oh, I see more specifically, you're right. That is kind of how I think. And my partner thinks this way. Maybe that does help people boil down where their differences are and can help them connect. So I definitely don't want to poo-poo that idea.
Yeah.
I do want to say I have a lot of trouble with a show called Love, Sex, and Goop.
Well, the whole Goop franchise, it's just very geared towards women. And I mean,
and Diane I get all of that, but I really don't want to combine the word goop with sex. I'm sorry.
Goop, when Goop and sex comes together, I just think of either like vaginal discharge or like squirting buttholes or lube. I picture.
I think of the whole cleanup process that none of us is looking forward to at the end of the evening.
I think of a tube of lube that says Goop on it, but the font is like the Garbage Pail Kids font. It's all like dripping, and it says.
And it's
Goop.
an expired tube of lube too, because actual lube's not goopy. But if it's goopy, something's wrong.
Yeah, I think too much.
I think in most things in life, if it's goopy, something's wrong.
Yeah. So we wanted to just go ahead. I'll show this quiz here. I took this quiz, and so did Diane. And so what it is, there's a free quiz, and there's another quiz where you can pay like $17 to get the a more better mapping blueprint for you. And
make sure you post a link to that too for people.
Well, here's the thing: is that. So this first question, there's 10 questions during foreplay. Do you prefer? And so question A is always one type. It's always the the spiritual type or the sensual type. The other one's like an energetic type. Question A is always the same type, and B is always the same type, and C and D. So at the end, they're like, well, you had more question C's, so you are clearly the sexual type. And that's it reminded me of a 17 magazine quiz, like what type of flirt are you, and you fill in all the bubbles, and then you count up, and then that's what type you are. It's exactly this. There's no algorithm involved. There's nothing analyzing this.
All of this felt very Cosmopolitan magazine. What I watched.
Yes, it's very basic, and even they send the results to your email address. And it took
forever.
It took like 4 or 5 hours. Like there's some panel of experts trying to bubble in stuff and figure out what your actual sexual type or your blueprint is, your erotic blueprint. And it's just no, this is very basic. So I actually got I got the sensual type just because I chose 3 sensuals and 2 of everything else. And so well, clearly you're sensual. I'm I don't know. And also Diane and I were speaking about this, that it depends on your mood for the day. Women.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. How many hormones are going through your body at the time. All these things are just sometimes I don't need foreplay and I just need to go to it. Sometimes I
Which is very similar to one of the problems with the Myers-Briggs test and all those other personality tests, is that the results shift from day to day depending on how you're feeling about answering the questions. And if it was truly scientific and precise, that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right, we'll stop. We'll get back to this. So there was one thing that they did that we thought was just hilarious, was that Jaya was the psychosomatic sexologist. She believes in honing your energy, and you're able to feel your warmth and energy by holding your hands over your head, and that you could have these full body orgasms without even touching the other person. And there was a scene where she brought her partner on, which, by the way, all the sex experts were all females. There was no males involved. Also, there was no gay couple. There was no two men on there. So it's like I felt
Chet feels a little hurt by that.
feel a little hurt. No, I feel like the show is clearly made for women, and that's fine if that's their target audience. So
is Goop.
Everything's made for women on Goop. So it just I guess women don't want to see two gay guys. I don't know. It just seemed like yeah. Go ahead, Wells.
I thought it was interesting how Garp's mother had sex with an incapacitated army sergeant and then later became a feminist icon. That was pretty wild. And then he was a novelist and his wife was cheating on him. And
I don't think you watched the right Goop there, Wells.
I thought you said Garp.
Oh, no, we said...
As in, like, John Irving's The World According to Garp. The
no.
That sounds more fulfilling, though.
Yeah, I think we would have probably got more out of it.
I haven't seen
that one.
No?
So...
Well, boy, did I miss the assignment.
It's all right. I don't know. Do we want to show them this exercise that they did with Jaya? All right, I'm going to put on... So she was blindfolded, and her male partner came in. The only time any type of male sex expert was on there, pulling some imaginary strings and making her orgasm. And it's like, well, Chet and Diane can do that. We can do this. So we're gonna go ahead, and I'm gonna just be blindfolded here, and I can't see anything, and so I'm just gonna feel Diane's pleasure. So yeah, if you watch the show, that's what
I feel like it was in an Italian movie.
That's what I mean. It would have been more exciting to watch that than I don't know. It was the couple that was watching was like, wow, I wish we could do that. It's like, I don't know. It seems like those whole like mediums that you see with like that like hypnotize people and then like pull ghosts out from their memories and talk about it's all kind of mind manipulation, smoke and mirrors thing. But we'll wrap this up and get to some callers here. Just a recap on this show. I do feel that it's a good thing that it's showing a new audience, how to be sex positive. It's opening up minds for a bigger realm that's out there and how to fully, sexually satisfy yourself. We are sexual beings, and so it's okay to explore this and to educate people. But if you are someone who is kind of more involved or more advanced in sex and in kink, there are some other shows that can actually feel more entertaining and less boring, more educational, more insightful. Like Sex with Sonny Megatron's a good one. Slut Ever with Kelly Skoroko is another good one. Yeah, those are, I think they're both on Hulu.
I believe so.
Yeah, so yeah, check it out. Those are fun shows. We enjoyed those. I think they're done really well, and they actually have some comedic elements, like our show. Because you know what? Why not put some humor in and make it more lighthearted and educate people at the same time? That's what we're here to do. But Wells, do we have anybody calling in right now?
Yeah, we have Frank. He was kind of cryptic in what he wanted to say, but I don't think he wants to kill you guys. So
that's good, because it's hard to trust you anymore. But no, we totally trust you. I'm on board, Wells. Hello, you are talking Sex Live with Chet and Diane. I am Chet.
I'm Diane.
And is this Frank?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
hey.
So you said yeah. What? So it said are you stuck? Are you stuck right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you stuck at? I don't get it. What's going on?
In the headboard. Well,
oh my God!
It's not a board,
between like the headboard and the wall, or are you just stuck between like the mattress?
Well,
the slats of the
spindles,
headboard.
Like it's like you like brass, like spindles and the head.
Like bed knobs and broomsticks kind of thing.
Yeah.
Are you handcuffed right now, or?
Oh no.
No.
We're not into any of that. I'm free.
Oh, okay. But is your partner with you, or are you just by yourself?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't a yes or no question.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. Is your partner with you right now? Is what I'm trying to say. Are you just?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
So you're calling? Are you actually making love right now?
Hey. He says hi.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right, great.
Yeah. So wait, are you face down, and so that your head is stuck underneath the headboard and between the headboard and the mattress?
No, I'm in. I described it to you. It's
it's
very attractive. It's brass, and there's spindles.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Like horizontal spindles,
yes,
ornamental spindles
Uh-huh.
in the middle of the headboard.
Okay, and
right?
is like your head stuck between them, like what
Yes.
your head? Oh.
Your
Okay.
head
Oh.
or your head?
Oh, okay, but so I
My
get it.
head.
Oh.
So you have your penis or your actual?
No, I think he means the top of his body.
I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
Okay.
So
Which would be
here's-
easier to get wedged into something than the penis, because the penis is
Yeah.
generally pretty straight. Yes.
unless you had really a slim slat. So
Or an especially large glands,
So
right?
here's our headboard right here, and so
Ugh.
we're on our bed. Of course, we do every show from our bed. But so if this was a brass one and there was some slats here, and you would be going down, and we would. You're obviously. It seems like you're getting.
I don't think anyone's going down right now.
No, but are you getting ridden from behind there? Is that what it is?
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it. Sounds like you're having,
Hardcore.
okay. You're
Yeah,
having a good time,
Okay.
and you just wanted to call in.
I mean, what problem are you having?
Yeah,
that
what
you
do you-
need
why
help
do you
solving?
need
That my
What's your
head
question?
is literally stuck.
Oh, okay. So you just
But-
need like some butter.
Look, he's
or
not
something.
about to stop. Okay, look,
Oh.
he was the one. He made me call you. Okay, he's a fan.
Oh.
All right, I'm not. I wanted to stop.
Oh,
and just,
well, I'm sorry
call
that you're not a fan of the
911.
show. Jesus.
But look, it's not that I'm not. I'm ambivalent. Okay, I'm not a listener. Let's put it that way. Okay, so I don't
okay.
know.
First
It's
time caller,
his
first
thing.
time listener.
Yeah.
He does it. But you guys sound like you know what you're talking about.
Well, we dabble. I mean, Diane's been in this position before. As you can see, our headboard has no place to get our head stuck. It's actually nice and cushy. It feels really good. It's velvet.
I've gotten my hair stuck on those.
Yeah. And sometimes we'll go and you can put your hand like between the mattress and the headboard, and you can get your hand kind of stuck in there. Or sometimes I will like chain Diane or shield Diane me. Uh-oh. Are you trying to get out your head, or are you trying to get or something going on?
Oh my God, no! It just came. Oh, wow!
Something came.
Now,
It just came out as simply as it mysteriously went in.
so you're free.
Your head's out.
Okay.
Yeah, my head's out, but
wow.
this is kind of serendipity.
Okay, but you're still getting
I,
ridden from behind.
Oh
wow!
I was wondering, you guys really know you're clearly much more credible than like a Dr. Drew.
Sure. Why not? I mean, that's an doctor.
I was I didn't expect I'd want to bring this up, but I feel comfortable. I do have an issue. Maybe you could help with.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, it's not. I don't know that it's specifically just sex related. I think it's more like, sex is part of the relationship. But anyways,
You're still getting pounded
I've
from
been
behind.
feeling really, really disconnected from my wife
Oh my God!
in the
Okay.
last several months.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
And I don't know, she's accusing me of being the one that's like disconnected, and I just
You don't think
I don't know. I can't see it.
Well, I think because
I think you're facing the wrong direction right now.
Literally and figuratively. So maybe cheating's cheating. It doesn't matter if it's a male or a female.
Well, now hold on. We're making assumptions.
Okay,
here.
I'm sorry. Have you been open with your wife about having sex with a man?
This is just fun.
Okay.
Nobody's getting hurt.
Oh, well,
it sounded like you were.
I mean,
yeah,
but let's be real.
depends.
Sometimes I am, right?
Yeah. Well,
anyway,
I feel your wife can get hurt if she was to find out about this. I feel that any type of distrust, any type if you lie to her, basically, she's not going to enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could see it from her point
Yeah.
of view when you put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, you're cheating on her right now, like literally right now. Okay.
You guys lasted a long time.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, congrats
I
on
know.
your
Oh my
partner
God, I
there.
never thought about it like that.
Yeah, like you're.
I just. Oh no! Yeah, get off. Look, I don't want to anymore. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, you're cheating on her. Like
Can't believe I've been.
Like you feel like you want to be with a man more than your wife. I mean, do you still love her? Are you still attracted to her?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
my one and only.
have you ever discussed with her that you are interested in men as well, or that you not are maybe not?
What? Why would I do that?
But are you interested in men, or do you just want to have your just
not
penetrated?
really. I was just looking at it.
Okay.
I was just
You just want to be pegged,
more
basically.
like I wanted to be dominated. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever had that discussion with your wife and just say, "Hey, are you okay with doing this?"
No,
to me?
absolutely not.
Is she more
not
conservative?
even therapy. I mean, she is. Yeah.
Okay.
So she probably would not. I would become part of the woke mob right there, even though I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not part of the woke mob. I know people who are, and you don't want to mess with those people.
Got it. Got the woke mob.
That's
Got
not
it.
for me.
I don't know if that
that's not
exists, but sure. You have to ask yourself. I mean, do you want to keep lying to your spouse, or do you want to be honest and say,
"Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. I don't
Okay.
want to keep lying to her."
"Okay."
But
So I mean, you got to be honest with yourself
going
also, and say that, hey, this is what I like, and I'm okay with that. And you got to tell your spouse, I like to be penetrated. I either want you to do it, or I want you to be okay with me finding a man to do it, or maybe she would be into having a threesome with another man.
Wait, how would? Look, I ain't let my wife touch my butthole with her fingers. Are you saying there's some sort of device that we could?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you
that
could
would
put
allow
on
her to penetrate me.
You could put it's called a strap on, or you could use a double-sided dildo.
If I may, there are entire there's huge numbers of devices for this. Exactly, they're called strap-ons. Some of them will penetrate the person wearing it as well, so that she feels the sensations internally.
You have one right behind you here, Peter.
Yeah,
you have one right behind you.
Yeah, exactly. No, there's some on my shelf here. Yeah, the one right up here is exactly the type I'm describing. That one doesn't even have to strap on.
Yeah, it just goes right into the vagina.
Some of them do strap, and then she can do what's called pegging, which is she can anally penetrate you so that you're receiving the pleasure that you're describing and wanting, but from your committed intimate partner, since it sounds as though you are in a monogamous relationship with a woman. And if that's what you want to maintain, then that would probably be one of your best solutions.
Yeah, you need to have this very open discussion with your spouse and say, this is what I want. And if she doesn't want to be with you, that's just something that you have to face. Like, you can't lie to yourself. You can't go through your life thinking that, you're suppressing your feelings and suppressing, your desires. It's about being open and honest and being happy with finding a partner who wants to enjoy your desires with you. And so, I mean, is that something that you're open to, that you want to have that discussion with your spouse, or?
Absolutely. You don't know how hard I want to get railed by my wife.
All right. Well, hopefully
Wonderful.
she'll be into that. So a lot of females, especially ones who want to be with a masculine type of man. You sound like a very burly type of guy. I have to say that they are turned off. Sorry, they're turned off by that sort of thing.
let's not scare him off.
It depends. It just depends.
Yeah.
But
Wait. Who made you the expert? Huh? Who died made you the expert?
I do not have any type of license on this. It's just
You don't know. She might be into it, or she may be willing to try to make it happen.
Yeah. If she's really into you and she wants to actually like be with you and stay with you, if you have a deep connection and that you're invested in this relationship, she might be into it, and maybe she'll even enjoy it. Maybe she will like to dominate you and want to, put some type of pain or pleasure like onto you. It's all up to the person, and if you just got to give it a shot. And we always recommend giving it 2 tries.
3 tries.
3 tries. 3 tries is the way to go there.
Yeah.
Because if
you guys, I told you I was not a listener.
All right.
Not exactly a fan, but definitely not a listener. But I just, you know what? Hang on a second. Hey, sorry for telling you to stop, but would you mind just going to the kitchen and grabbing my wife?
Wow, inside the house.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Right, thank you.
Wow.
I suspect that you may not need to tell her as much as you think think you do.
Sounds like
Yeah. She may just know that this is how you are and just doesn't want to like admit or come to her senses and realize this is what you want.
Or she may have just accepted it and is ignoring it because she knows you need. I mean, this happens. This has happened throughout history where wives allow their partners to be with mistresses or misters, as I assume would be the male equivalent of that. They're male valets, as it used to be historically, because they understand that they have a need that they can't provide and they still love them. So, this may not be so hard for you if you come clean.
Yeah, I would totally recommend that. So.
Oh, no, yeah, that was her father.
Oh, good God. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Things have gone down the deep end, but okay.
Well, we hope we answered your question.
Yeah, hopefully that helps you out. That's a whole nother we would be able to spend another half hour, but we got other calls we got to get to tonight. Podcast
don't worry yourselves. I work in the U.S. government. Okay?
Oh God,
so
not
good.
Doesn't surprise me.
Night.
That does not surprise me.
Thank you, my friend. Frank,
advice.
have a good night.
Chet, before we move on to another caller, we have a question from a viewer.
Okay, what's the question there?
This is Zachinator 19. He says, got any questions for easing someone's mind who freezes up? Got any suggestions for easing someone's mind who freezes up with any kind of intimacy?
So his mind just freezes up with intimacy? Like he's trying to get intimate and then it just stops?
It appears that's what he's saying.
Okay.
If he posts again, I'll let you know.
Okay. Diane?
You can always focus on your breath if you're starting to get anxious.
Yeah?
He says pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that helps me. And take deep breaths in and out and just focus on that to clear your mind.
Also, I think another really important thing is just finding somebody that you feel safe enough with that you can actually explain that to the person and ask for permission to go much more slowly with them, whatever the actions are. Maybe it's not full-on intimacy. Maybe it's simply being alone and watching television or a movie together, but close. Maybe it's just looking at each other. And if you're direct and open and honest with the person about the fact that you have this anxiety and they care enough about you and about the connection to work with you, it might be something that you can work very slowly on. And whenever you feel that fear or that moment, that locking up, you can indicate to the person in some way, and maybe they'll just hold your hand, or maybe they'll just give you a look, or maybe the opposite. Maybe if that's what you need, they'll step away for a moment and give you that. But it's all about finding the person who can understand and respect that and work with you.
Also, you can spend some time just on yourself, just to find out what turns you on, what makes you feel intimate. Like it doesn't have to be porn. It doesn't have to be masturbating. Just anything that will turn you on, and just follow that down the rabbit hole until you find yourself aroused, and then and focus that, and then tell your partner when you're with them, like, hey, do you mind if I suck on your toes? For some reason, I really find feet attractive.
So I'll point out that they just added to the chat that they can't, if they said they just can't engage at all past flirting. So I would say at that point, one of the things you might want to do is try to make connections outside of flirting. I know that's a little bit, it's tricky and it's counterproductive. It seems counterproductive, but if you can connect with people who are more in a friend circle, and I can't presume your gender or the gender that you're interested in, but the people who match what you're interested in, if you can just try to get connected with them purely on a friend level and not see the person as a potential date or a potential romantic partner, and just purely figure out ways to have fun with them. Don't try to turn them on. Don't try to turn them on to you. Just treat them like someone you're enjoying the company of, and throw that away entirely. Hopefully you can at least build connections with people that way, and maybe let your guard down a little bit, raise your comfort level a bit. And sometimes things blossom just out of friendships alone, but don't treat that like it's the goal. Just try to build comfort with people of your preferred gender on that level, and see if that slowly makes it easier for you to then also talk to people that you're interested in romantically.
Exactly. As soon as you start to just get it out of your mind that you have to impress this person and just want to engage and be yourself around that person and have a good time, and they'll see you who you really are. And if that person really likes you for what you present and what you are, then that person's a keeper, and then it'll just blossom on its own. Every time I'm really into somebody, like as soon as I just say, you know what, I'm not going to push, I'm not going to be like, I need to be with this person. Just like, you know what, we're just going to have fun, we're going to have a good time, and if it happens, it happens. And that's always the most meaningful types of relationship. Those are the types of people that you want to be with. We can chat more about this, but we have another caller coming. Is that right, Wells?
Yeah, we have Annette. This sounds like kind of an odd couple situation. She's very neat and tidy.
Okay.
Her friend, her partner, likes to engage in food play and always makes a mess. Zackinator has said, thank you for the advice. And if you were wondering if it's a hetero thing, I am the guy. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah. Going to keep listening. Thank you, Zackinator.
Thank you, Zach.
Let us know if you need anything else.
Exactly. All right, you are talking sex live with Chet and Diane. Are we chatting yet with Annette? Is this Annette?
Hello. This is Annette. Thank you so much for taking my call.
No problem, Annette. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Thank you so much for calling in. So it sounds like you are neat, and your significant other has a type of fetish called pseudophilia, or is into another type of fetish which is similar, called sploshing or wham. Is that correct?
That is correct. We haven't yet gotten all the way to sploshing level because I just can't get there. A little bit about me. I'm a very neat, very highly controlled person. I like tidy. I like clean. I clean every day. And I've just started dating this man who I really, really like. And he's so into this, but the sauces and the smells and the stickiness and the seeds, I need your advice on how to get with this, get around it. I don't want this to be a deal breaker.
Got it.
Well, maybe you can start slow with things that are more fun, like whipped cream. It's kind of fun to do.
Does that even turn you on, or
do anything for you?
Like cream, like whipped cream on my body?
Yeah.
Yeah, just let him put some whipped cream on you, or put some whipped cream on his penis. I guess let's back up a little bit. Have you had sex yet, or if that's too much, I don't know.
We have had sex at his house.
Okay.
And we have engaged in some of the food play with the chocolate sauce and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
at
so you
his
already
house.
started it. Got it. But you don't want any of that at your place, is what you're trying to say.
But finishing the sex activity covered in sugary residue just makes me want to scrub myself raw.
Oh, no, I mean, I guess that's normal if you're a neat, I don't want to say freak, but that's kind of the term, the neat freak. Being clean and cleanly, it's a perfectly okay thing. It's a type of personality type, and that's who you are. But I guess we got to get to a point where you're okay with him. I mean, is he a messy person? Is his appearance messy, or is he clean? It seems like there's two different things here. You could be attracted to an opposite that really turns you on, since you're so set in your kind of neatness that you see him as kind of the bad boy type, where he's all super messy, and that really turns you on because you're so in your zone of being dirty or being clean. I mean, so sometimes with women who are always like trying to empower, like they're the head of the household. They're always getting everything clean and getting all the kids orderly and stuff. Sometimes they just want to be dominated, or vice versa. Sometimes they want to dominate a man. If they're constantly in a man's world and being pushed down, they it really turns them on to dominate a man. It's always the opposite that turns them on. Do you feel that that's why you're attracted to this man, or is he more of just like super, or is he normally cleanly when you're around him?
Well, I've never thought about it like that. He's definitely not as neat and tidy as I am. But there is something about the fact that he's a little rough around the edges that does a little bit turn me on. Okay.
Like what are those things?
Well, like he doesn't shave all the time. So he has like a little bit of scruff, and he convinced me to go camping for the first time last weekend, and that was way outside of my comfort zone, but I did enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Annette, can I ask, are you by any chance, and you feel free to not ask this because this is personal, but are you by any chance diagnosed with OCD? Is this that level of a cleanliness, or is it just purely just a strong preference?
I have not been clinically diagnosed with OCD, but when things get too disorganized, I do have a pretty significant anxiety reaction.
I can understand that. Now, the other question I had is, because you said you clean all the time. Do you enjoy cleaning? Is this something that for you is perhaps therapeutic, or is it just it's a compulsive need?
It makes me feel more in control of my environment. It definitely lessens my anxiety if I'm feeling stressed out. To make sure that everything is sort of in its place.
Part of why I ask is if there's any level of enjoyment to the cleaning process for you, it might be possible for you to mentally redirect your emotions around the play if it's something that's very important to him, and you might be able to recognize that the end result is you getting to clean up that mess, and that's something that works for you. And I'm not putting that on you, but maybe that's something you could actually recognize and go, when this is done, I will have a challenging and interesting cleaning process to go through. And maybe if you angle it that way, you have something positive in the process for you too. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, it's like if you let him get off while he's super messy. So sploshing, or wham, wet and messy, is arousal by covering yourself or someone else in food. So if he gets aroused by being completely covered in food, or by covering you in food, and you allow him to do that to you, or you do it to him, and he gets off on that. He climaxes and has a great orgasm, but you delay your orgasm, and then for you clean up. You wipe him down with a sponge, very sensual and sexual. you get the bucket out and you scrub them, and you scrub yourself, and you put, you even get a spritzer bottle and you start spraying them, and you clean them, and you start cleaning his penis and his taint and his anus and stuff, and you go and you start cleaning them with your mouth, and you start licking stuff off. I mean, because it's food, and so you start licking everything off, and you make sure that every little square centimeter of his body is clean by either like a sponge or your tongue, and then maybe, just maybe, you get off on that. Is that something that you'd be into?
That sounds like something I have never considered.
Oh, yeah?
And I think that potentially could be a really good idea.
All right. I'm glad.
And I also think it's a great trade-off with him, too.
I just have never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is something you can talk with him about, is if he's getting his way on the filthiness, then, what you two work out after that is you get your way on the cleanliness, and he works with you on that. Maybe you have a kind of a cleaning party with each other, and that's him indulging your desires.
Yeah. I mean, opposites attract. 2 steps forward and 2 steps back.
Yeah.
I mean, Paula Abdul with the cartoon cat. Does anybody remember that song from the 90s?
Yeah.
Nope.
DJ Snapchat, of course.
Yeah, Snapchat.
Who would have thought that he would provide answers
Exactly. So
to parts of the future?
yeah, I mean, that's all you got to do is you guys are opposites, and you just got to find that balance where you can and be like, you're Tetris, your 2 Z's come together, and you put them together, and all of a sudden it's magic. It's great. Hopefully we steered you in the right direction there.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, I was feeling pretty hopeless when I started this call, and I feel very hopeful now. So thank you so much. This is good advice.
Just a few things. I mean, if you don't want any like permanent stains, I would suggest putting like plastic over any type of furniture or carpet. It is perfectly okay. A lot of time with sploshing, there is a lot of plastic involved, tarps and everything. Just go ahead and then you have the full green light to go buck wild with just all the food and whatnot, and then you can just go ahead and clean away. Also, make sure that food doesn't get in any type of things that could cause a UTI. Just want to give you some disclaimers on that. So
yeah, and that's where cleaning is always important.
Yeah.
Always pee after sex. Always clean up. So your proclivities to stay clean are valid, but they don't necessarily have to prevent you from getting dirty first.
Got it. All right, Annette. I hope we helped you out there.
I think so. I sort of can't wait to get over to his house.
All right, and then who knows? Maybe you can do this at your place. Take the next step, right?
Potentially, yeah, but I definitely would need to get some of those tarps.
Yeah, definitely. Just take just one step at a time. You don't have to go all in. Just the next step, and just in by, who knows? It could be like a every weekend routine or something like that, and you guys would have a very healthy and gratifying sexual life together.
I look forward to trying this out.
All right. Have a good night there, Annette. Stay sex positive, my friend.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, is anybody else popping in on the chat board there? Or?
I wanted to follow up with Zachinator.
Okay.
If he's still watching.
Yeah.
Zachinator, if you don't mind me asking, what is your age group? Are you like a younger adult? Are you mid-20s?
Yeah, Wells.
You're young?
Yeah,
You're younger?
Yeah, Wells is our dating expert, so.
Anxiety around intimacy is just par for the course when you're young. I mean, it doesn't make it any better, but it is, it's also, it's normal. 24. Okay. Yeah. I mean, even then, especially if you don't have a lot of experience with it, with intimacy, it can be difficult. So don't let that make you feel, feel too down on yourself. It's not unusual.
Extremely. I think when I was 24, I had only had 2 partners at that point, and there were a lot of issues with intimacy that I had to work through. Now I don't really have those issues anymore, so I hope the same thing for you.
Yeah. You're still in the kind of age of exploring and figuring out what you like and trying to figure out how to find a partner. Self-confidence goes a long ways. If you are not confident when you're around a woman, it just bleeds out your pores and they smell it.
They smell fear.
They
They're
smell
like,
fear, and it is the biggest turnoff. Yeah, Diane knows. So don't be hesitant. Don't be fearful. Just be confident. Be yourself.
Just have fun.
Yeah.
And that's not the same thing as being a cocky jerk.
No, not at all.
You know, because that's definitely a game people play. It's not about faking it. It's not about swagger. It's not about trying to be the cool guy or anything. You know, and ignore all the games. Ignore all of those pickup artist books. All of the men are from Mars, women are from Venus stuff that try to encourage men to play mind games with women.
Well, I don't think men are from Mars, women are from Venus. I have to correct you on that. Yeah. That's more of a couples thing.
I think you're thinking
no. I know,
the game.
But that one plays into a lot of really tricky stereotypes of the roles that men are supposed to fit into. Yes. And the reality is you should focus purely on being yourself. It's such a cliched thing to say of just be yourself. It's not so much that being yourself will guarantee that someone likes you, because no, most people don't like most other people. That's the reality. But it does guarantee that the person actually knows who you are and not who you pretended to be.
Exactly.
Which is just guaranteed failure later down the line. You can absolutely play an amazing game where you pretend to be the suavest guy in the world, and then that's going to break down after 2 or 3 dates and you're done.
Yeah.
Just be yourself and figure out what connections you have with the person on a personal level, and don't treat them like a target. Don't treat them like a goal. Treat them like another human being who you enjoyed the company of. And then if that progresses past there, that's what relationships are. They are two people who enjoy each other's company, enjoying it more regularly.
Exactly. If you are trying to be somebody else who you are not, then you're going to attract somebody that you don't want to be around. Like, if you want to be yourself and you're to find somebody that is attracted to you, and that is the long-term kind of sustaining relationship. So if you try to be somebody that you are just not, then you're going to find yourself in these only like 1 or 2 date, 3 date scenarios, and it's not going to go any further than that. So it's going to take some work. It's going to take some time. I don't know where you are living at, but I mean, LA is a huge place and there's millions of people here, and it's incredibly difficult to meet the right person, but those people exist. There are several people out there that who will be attracted to you. I can guarantee it. There's somebody who is sitting at their computer right now being like, or TV or in their car being like, I really want the guy who's exactly like Zacinator. And you just gotta be persistent and find that person. It's just very difficult sometimes, but you will just stay at it and don't be discouraged. And I really highly encourage just to find yourself and be okay with being who you are, and for being like comfortable, like being single. As soon as you are comfortable in that spot, boom, you'll find somebody. It happens every time. Like, it's crazy. Like, you're just like, you know what? I'm fine with being single. I'm fine with being who I am. And then it's like people just fall in your lap, because you exude that confidence that you aren't out looking for some tail. You're not out looking to try and hook up. You're just there you're enjoying life, and women like that. Is that right, Diane?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say, Diane?
No, I agree with everything you guys said on that.
Yeah, I don't want to give any specific advice coming from a woman to Zacinator.
Yeah. No, I think you guys said it all. Just be comfortable with who you are. Because that's sexy.
Best of luck, Zacinator, over there in England.
Oh, wow, England.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That sucks about the lack of privacy. Hopefully that changes soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always hard. And when you're young and you're not able to be out on your own, it does limit your options. But especially if you can find I know we're still in the times of COVID too. I'm not exactly sure what the situation is over there. I know it's not great. It may be very similar to what it's like over here, but if you can find group activities so that you have opportunities to just get together with people outside of the home, if group activities are especially great because you feel safer in them. You've got a crowd of people. It's easier to meet additional people and to not feel pressure because, you can always turn to someone else. They can always turn to someone else. It's not just one-on-one, and you can maybe resolve some of those issues that way. So maybe find yourself some clubs or something that relate to things that you love. And especially because if you're doing something related to something you like, then that's already a shoe-in with connecting with people because you have a shared interest.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go ahead and end it because it's about that time. Thank you so much for the callers who called in, and Zach and Nader for giving us some insight on your life. I appreciate you commenting. Please give us a follow on any type of podcast that you're listening to. Also on Twitch or YouTube, or you can follow us on Twitter at Talkin' Sex Live, talking with no G because we're cool, and it's a Talkin' Sex Live. Also on Instagram, and also Throwdown Comedy. Thank you so much for hosting everything on Twitch. Have a good night, guys. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Wells. Stay sex positive, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody.